Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be talking about doors. No, I'm just kidding. Not doors. But today we'll be talking displaying and storage of your figures. And hopefully this video will give you some ideas on what you can do with yours. So first, we're going to take a look what's behind the door. And inside here is a pantry that has a hot water tank in, and I've converted it to storage for my figures that I'm currently not displaying or still in the box. So you can see there's a couple in here. My collection is a modest one. I have about 200 figures. You can scroll, come on down here. This is my rolling table that has figures on it that I am currently not displaying, as well as some more box stuff on the bottom, as well as spare parts. Like I said, when I first got this room, we just threw some junk in it, and I decided this would be a lot better use. And like I said, I didn't put the shelving up here because I'm against putting shelving on walls, but I figured I would make use of the situation as it was. Now moving along, we're going to talk shelving options. This is just your standard shelving unit you can get at Walmart. You know, this runs between 25 and 55 bucks. Depending on where you can get it. It's easy to do. I've had this particular shelf, this particular bookcase for since about '99, and I've moved a couple times, so this thing's actually lasted me a while. I mean, the upside is it's cheap and inexpensive, easy to put together. The downside, on the other hand, is that it's open, so your figures tend to get dusty quickly, and if you have cats or animals, you know, they tend to like to play on shelving. So that's the downfall on this. Next case is your wood and glass shelving, like something like this. This is nice. Price tag on these, brand new, runs probably in the 150 plus range, depending on where you find it and what size you get. If you can pick them up used, like I did this one here, you can find them from $40 to $70 depending on the condition. This one came with all the shelving, so that was a good thing. I did have to replace the lighting because the lighting was bad, but as you can see, it lights things up fairly decently. The downside is you're kind of stuck with the lighting that comes in it unless you're going to be an electrician and change the light that's in it. Like I said, if you can pick these up used, I highly recommend them. And depending on the size of the unit you get, you can store several figures in there. And moving on. Here you've got your typical IKEA DTOS. They run between 50 and 60 bucks. And a few tips on these is the most common problem with these is installation. And what I mean is that when you install it, it's best to use the IKEA tool that came with it and not use a screwdriver. And I'll tell you why. The best reason to use the tool that came with it is over tightening it. And when I say this is that this is what I use to put it together. Just a bit driver. That's all it really takes. But the most common thing people do is they over tighten those top screws right there. And what happens is when you over tighten this thing, the side glass tends to bow either in or out. And when that happens, it causes stress on that glass and what causes it to break. Now, I did have, as you can see down there, I did lose a shelf. One day I came home and it was broken. I don't know how, it just shattered. So, but the good thing is there are places out there who can make you plexiglass replacement shelves to replace the glass stuff. So, that's a good thing. And when it comes to lighting, you pretty much got your choice of lighting. Matter of fact, both of these have different lights in them. This one here has the dioder in it. And this one has this in it. And I'm upgraded to these because I plan on putting a third shelf in here. And I don't want to waste, 1.5 plug-in units to do the shelving. So I bought this as well. And 3 of the umlaps will plug into this, giving you control over 3 cabinets instead of individual switches for each one. And like I said, the lighting, it could be better, but I've seen it worse. But for storage options, any 3 of these things are pretty good. Another thing with this is, like I said, don't try to overpopulate the top of these things, because again, you get too much weight, it presses down on your base here, and this base is sitting on the glass, so if there's a ton of weight on there, your glass is going to bow. And if you see bowing happening, like I said, looks like I'm going to have to do some unscrewing on this one here, because you can kind of see it. See the glass? It's got a slight bend in it. When I take it apart to replace the lighting, I'll make sure I don't tighten it down as much, and it'll take the bow out of it. And it'll keep it from shattering. But otherwise, that's all I have for you today. I mean, you can take your pick. Like I said, DTOLs are good. They're mid-range, mostly inexpensive. Upgrade kits for lighting, depending on what you get, can run you anywhere from $20 to, $100, depending, like I said, depending on your lighting and depending on what you're going to do with it. And that's about all I have today. So just remember to help control the Insecticon population, and please have your Insecticon spayed or neutered.